Welcome to the 10th episode of the TF Motorsports podcast. I'm Thomas Frasco. We are already at 10. I want to thank everybody for joining me so far on this journey on this podcast, where we go over Monster Jam, NASCAR, and Supercross. Sometimes we'll go over independent monster truck stuff, but however, nothing crazy really popped up as of now, so no crazy events for me to cover. So far, we're just sticking with Monster Jam, Supercross, and NASCAR. So first, we're going to go over Monster Jam. So Monster Jam went to Miami last week for the Stadium Tour East. The first show on Saturday saw Tyler Menega get the win over Tristan England in racing. Tristan would get a skills win over Tyler, and then Tyler would get the win in freestyle over Lindsey Reed and Bryce Kenny. Tyler Menega would get the overall event championship that night over Bryce Kenny and Tristan England, where Tyler would have 35 points, Bryce Kenny would have 29, and Tristan would have 28. Then the second show would feature Tristan England getting the racing win over Bryce Kenny. Skills would be won by Todd LeDuc in Megalodon over Tyler Menega and Tristan England. Todd would follow that up with a freestyle win and an overall event championship, breaking the tie between him and Bryce, since Todd won the freestyle competition over Bryce, and third was actually Matt Pagliarulo and Jester, so he got pretty far up. And then we take a look at what the points stay. As I say stay, yeah, Tyler is up there in the first spot, 23 points over Tristan England and JCB Digatron. Todd LeDuc in third with 327 points. Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, 325 points. Colton Eichelberger rounding out the top five, and Max D, 324 points. We'll get back to Colton in a second, or after we go through the recap. John Gordon, Bad Company, is sixth. Cole Vennard, who is now sitting out, which now Mike Pagliarulo is driving for him, with Cole Vennard having that injury. So that's too many injuries throughout the season. Mike is seventh, doing a really good job filling in for him. Ryan Disher and Shaker's eighth. Jamie Gardner is ninth. Lindsey Reed is 10th. Matt is 11th. And Nick Pagliarulo is 12th. He's kind of struggling this season compared to last year. Then we go on to our next Monster Jam series in the stadiums, as we go over, let's see here. There we go. So we got Detroit for Stadium Tour West, which saw the official return of Northern Nightmare, Chris Kohler driving that truck. And then we also had Jim Kohler with this fresh, brand new Avenger in the hometown show for him. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the standings from that show now. So going over, racing was run by Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger, defeating Mike Christensen in Vendetta. Skills was won by Colt Stevens in Thunder Roris over Chris Kohler and Caleb Blood. Freestyle, Chris Kohler made sure to have not just that truck being placed, or the body being placed on that truck for no reason. He made sure to make it known that he was the one to drive that truck specifically, as he would throw down an incredible run, possibly run of the year. He would win the freestyle competition in Northern Nightmare. Colt Stevens would get second, and Adam Anderson would get third. Winning overall would be Colt Stevens in Thunder Roris over Adam Anderson and Barry Musauer. Sunday saw the Anderson matchup in the final round, and then the winner of that competition would be Adam Mustache Anderson over Ryan Anderson. So Skills was won by Corey Rummel in Megalodon. And freestyle, Adam Anderson would go and get another freestyle win. The majestic mustache man himself would get the overall event championship over Ryan Anderson and Corey Rummel. Points would show in that series that Ryan Anderson is still leading, but he is ahead by 42 points over Adam Anderson, so it's still kind of tight. Adam Anderson in Gravedigger is second, Camden Murphy third, Barry Sauer fourth, Corey Rummel fifth, Colt Stevens sixth, David Alford seventh, Joe Foley eighth, Chris Kohler ninth, Caleb Blood 10th, Mike Christensen 11th, Jim Kohler struggling, he is still 12th. Arena Series Central would see Weston Anderson continue his dominance. He's 179 points ahead of Fernando Martinez. However, this could actually still change because Fernando Martinez, he's been getting pretty good in this series. Brianna Mahan third, Brandon Telechka fourth, Jamie Sullivan back. She's been doing pretty well. She's ranking up some wins, so even though that she's fifth, she's 281 points away from Weston Anderson. She still can make up some ground. It's just she needs a lot of wins, and also she needs pretty much a lot of luck at this point because that's a large gap, and we only got a couple months left. Alex Barden sixth, he's actually making up some ground. Michaela Telechka seventh, and Frank Kreml eighth. And then we have Kristen Anderson in the Arena Series East still leading. She has 649 points. Armando Castro, El Toro Loco, he's second. Zach Garner, Wildside third. Cody Saucier and Dragon, he is in fourth. Chad Tingler fifth. Mark Hall sixth. Angelina Knox seventh. And Kurt Kramer is last. Arena Series West, Brandon Vinson is out. As we'll get to that in a moment with the major drivers shakeups and news. So technically it's Matt Cody in the lead in Gravedigger with 770 points. He has a 102 point lead over Tony Oaks and Thunder Roars. Dalton Winder is also trying to gain some ground. He's doing pretty well. MJ El Toro Loco, he's doing well as well. Let's see, so we have Ashley Sanford Megalodon in fifth. We also have James Calhoun and Earthshaker sixth, which actually, I think he is now out. I think it's now Joe Uri. Yeah, Joe Uri's now sixth. Berto and Mashallah Rottweiler is seventh, and Devin Winfield is last in Velociraptor on that tour. Now we get into the shakeup, as going into these events of competition with, I believe, one of the tours going to Houston, being West, and the East tour going to Orlando. Driver shakeups are happening right now. So, for unknown reasons, I tried to find an answer, but there's no answer for Colton. Colton Eichelberger will not be competing at Orlando this weekend. Instead, Blake Ranger will have his first United States event, as he's only been known for the international shows, as far as I know. So hopefully Blake Ranger has a really good big impression in the stadium tours in the United States. Again, there is it's unknown why Colton Eichelberger is not competing tonight, but we'll figure that out when we get an answer. Maybe he's just taking the weekend off. Adam Anderson's also kind of 50-50. Charlie Pauken will be filling in for him at this weekend's event in Houston again, or Arlington. I forgot which one it was, but again, not sure why Adam is out. Some people say he has a hand injury. Some people say he just doesn't feel well. Again, hope Adam has a speedy recovery. But again, I really wish Monster Jam would post the full story on this. Again, we'll get to that when we get to that. Still not done going over who's out. And as we briefly said in our points recap, Brandon Vinson, at this point, retiring from Monster Jam. He's going to be focusing on his business. I forgot what it was. I think it was trying to remember. I forgot what it was, but again, hope Brandon Vinson has a very... But I'm actually at a loss for words at how crazy this whole thing just happened out of nowhere. With Adam out, Colton out, and Brandon Vincent retiring. But still, Brandon had a really good run. He had that World Finals Championship at Orlando. Really kept the consistency up, and right before he retired, he was still leading points. Matt Cody doing a really great job in that, and Gravedigger. So I wish nothing but the best for Brandon Vincent in his future endeavors. But now getting into my main point here, I found out about Brandon Vincent through a couple of different people on social media. The full information on the injuries of Jamie Sullivan back in January was revealed by her specifically. Same thing was for Tom Mentz. And then Cole Bernard. I don't know if that was posted on Monster Jam, but yeah, he had an arm injury. I think arm or hand, I forgot what it was. Pretty sure it was like a arm injury. And then now with all these driver shakeups, Monster Jam just posts that Charlie Plotkin will be driving Gravedigger this weekend, filling it for Adam. And Blake Ranger posted that he'll be driving Max D. I really wish Monster Jam was more on top of this, because this just creates a lot of confusion, uncertainty. Like, you don't see NASCAR doing this. With NASCAR, as we saw, Josh Berry last year filling in for Chase Elliott and then eventually filling in for Alex Bowman. NASCAR would tell the full story. They would showcase why Chase or Alex was out. But with this, I don't know if it was because of Monster Jam's new image or whatnot, but they're just not telling the full story of why they're out. And they don't really have a time frame of how long they're going to be out for. Like Cole Bernard, I don't know how long he's going to be out. And now with Adam, I don't know how long he'll be out. Not sure if Colton is just going to be out for this weekend. And again, nothing was told about Colton at all. So hopefully somebody doing the Monster Jam social media posts can actually inform us on all these different driver shakeups and whatnot. Because it's either I find this out on social media from other different people in the community or people in the industry. And yeah. And then sometimes we don't even get an answer at all. So it just gets very confusing and it's hard to report on it. So keep you informed on that when we get more information. Alright, so we have a question. We're going to get to this question here. This stays on the topic of Monster Jam. This question is from our good buddy on here, Hayden, or as you might know him from Instagram, Temporary High MT. He asked, should Monster Jam bring back Speedway shows or do a Speedway series? Honestly, I think a Speedway series would be kind of cool, like some of the more up-and-coming drivers or some drivers during the summer tour. I think that'd be like pretty cool, but also at the same time not sure like what type of speedways, because there's also independent tours who want to get their fair share. Maybe for like the bigger speedways, but like Atlanta, maybe they could also have an event at Daytona possibly. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So it's yes in a way and maybe not in another way. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and let's talk about NASCAR. What a race in the Cup Series last week at Atlanta. A 3-wide end to a very, very great race. One of the best races of the next-gen era, and definitely the best race at the new configured Atlanta. Daniel Suarez managed to beat Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch by inches. Just a really, really great race. Daniel Suarez gets the win, Ryan Blaney second, Kyle Busch third, and behind them, Austin Cindric fourth, Bubba Wallace fifth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was sixth, Ross Chastain seventh, Michael McDowell eighth, Chris Buescher from Prosper, Texas ninth, and Ty Gibbs 10th. Harrison Burton 11th, Martin Truex Jr. 12th, Corey LaJoie 13th, Kaz Grilla 14th, Chase Elliott 15th, Ryan Preece got 16th, William Byron 17th, Daniel Hemrick 18th, Carson Hocevar 19th, Justin Haley 20th, John Hunter Nemechek got 21st, Austin Dillon 22nd, Denny Hamlin 23rd, BJ McLeod 24th in that race, Eric Jones 25th, Todd Gilliland 26th, Alex Bowman got 27th, Joey Logano 28th, Josh Berry 29th, Tyler Reddick 30th, Chase Briscoe 31st, Kyle Larson 32nd, Brad Keselowski 33, Christopher Bell got 34th, Zane Smith got 35th, Noah Gragson 36th, and Josh Williams 37th. Yeah, I believe it was Ryan Blaney who also had a very, very cool pass on the field for the lead. Got into like a 4 wide position right around turn 1 at one point. Kind of reminded me of like a Earnhardt type of pass. It just honestly was pretty cool to see that. And currently in the points, Kyle Busch currently leading with 77 points. William Byron down a point. He is 76th, as well as Austin Cindric. In 4th is Bubba Wallace with 74 points. Ryan Blaney 5th with 69 points. Nice. Chase Elliott, he is in 6th with 65 points. Daniel Suarez has a win. He also has 64 points. So again, I don't know how this playoff stuff goes, but I'll have to look into that. Ross Chastain is 8th, Alex Bowman 9th, and Martin Truex Jr. is 10th in the point standings. Let's see. Maybe I could try to go and take a look at the points for... so we have driver, owner, manufacturer. I'm trying to see if they have like a whole playoff thing as of right now. Standings. Okay, so the playoff standings are not out yet, so... I mean, I'll figure out exactly how this whole thing goes for this year specifically. I don't know if it's the same thing where you have to win and you'll automatically be in, but yeah. So that was the top 10 for NASCAR. They're going to be at Texas Motor Speedway. Oh god, that track for this weekend of competition. Moving on to Monster Energy Supercross, as they invaded Arlington, and that's why Monster Jam is there for their West Tour today. Cooper Webb got it over Eli Tomac, Aaron Plessinger, Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Chase Saxton, Justin Cooper, Ken Roczen, Malcolm Stewart, and rounding up the top 10 was Jason Anderson. Jet Lawrence still leading in the points over Cooper Webb, Aaron Plessinger, Chase Saxton, Eli Tomac, Jason Anderson, Ken Roczen, Dylan Fernandez, Hunter Lawrence, and Justin Cooper, as they're going to be going at the iconic Daytona International Speedway for their next set of races. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of the TF Motorsports official podcast. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here, and we'll hope to see you either next time, either for a recap episode for Saturdays or a possible extra episode in the middle of the week. Catch you guys next time here on TF Motorsports.